Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to a very special show with me tonight. Over on my, well, over on this side, we've got George from Emperor's Choice Games. Below him, we've got Dave from Emperor's Choice Games, and below me, we've got Matt from Barrows and Borderlands. Do you have a company name yet?
Barrows and Borderlands.
Okay, all right, that works. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Welcome to everybody in the chat. I see a bunch of new people. Erudite DM, I just saw you this morning. Ultra American Tabletop Role Playing Gamer, we met about a week ago, I want to say. Fox Off, heard a lot about you. I don't think we've ever met. Who else is in there? This weirdo named Dave Marmachan. Symphonic Musings. I love the name. I've been looking for this game. I found a PDF. Sathonian Stars. It's a Traveler Cthulhu thing. It's freaking awesome, but the only place I can find the actual game is Drive-Thru, and it's literally like the most expensive product on their website for some reason. It's like $69 for a 250-page book. But anyways, we're here to talk about Arduin and Barrows and Borderlands. So, who wants to go first?
Oh.
I say we make the new guy go first.
Yeah, oh, no, me. Oh, it's all me. Well, howdy, y'all.
Yep. Howdy, man.
Well,
yeah.
Do you want to go ahead, Matt, or do you want
me? You got this, George. Okay. All right, I'm on the spot. Oh, hi, I'm Matthew, and with Barrows and Borderlands, and what do I say? What do I got?
Just tell us a little bit about yourself for the people who might not know who you are.
Yeah, I'm from South Carolina, game designer, and we've been playing games that got a 30-person plus table. Make that 100 if you count the online players. And we played Barrows and Borderlands, and as recently Arduin as well. Been playing for about a decade, and I met these cool guys up on the whatever directions those are. And we got the Kickstarter. 3 games by 3 publishers. Now, George, take it over.
Yeah.
I was going to say we should make Dave go next because George is just going to be,
Yeah, I'm just going to go off. So.
Yeah, but I don't really say much, so.
Yeah. Dave just passes it through, so then I just
always the quiet ones you got to watch out for. You know that, right?
Oh, I'm a conduit.
Yeah.
Conduit.
First off, I just want everybody to say thank you. Shadow, we really appreciate this. So we really love the opportunity to come on the show here and talk, have Matt with us here. Unfortunately, with Griff, he couldn't make it. He's completely buried with Articon 3 coming up next week. So he's a bit under the water trying to get everything set there. But this idea, and as everybody knows, I'm George DeRosa, VP of Emperor's Choice. Dave is president of Emperor's Choice. We're known as the Arduin guys. This whole thing, how Arduin's Portal to Adventure came to be, was truly a mistake. Actually, what's the funny story about it? Dave had come to me, and we had recently met Matt in the last 3 months. And we were always thinking about doing box sets and maybe something with the Arduin books with the box sets, for the original 1 through 3 and 4 through 9. And so Dave was like, hey, why don't you talk to Matt, see if he has some extra boxes, the boxes that we could, use for like the trilogy and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'll go ask Matt about the boxes for the trilogy. Well, I think I took that a little wrong. So I went to Matt and I said, Matt, do you have some extra boxes? I think Dave's looking maybe to do the trilogy box set. We'll do a reprint. Well, Matt and I started talking and we went off right to left field. And I went back to Dave and I said, hey, we got the boxes and we could do the trilogies, so we're all set to go. Well, he looked at me like I had 3 heads and he was like, what are you talking about? I was just asking if he had extra boxes that maybe we could use for people for their 4 through 9 and for their books. I'm like, no, we're ready to go. We can do this with the reprint. So we bantered back and forth. We're like, okay, let's see what's possible. So we started talking with Matt, and we're like, okay, I think we can do a limited edition of the Arduin trilogy based on what Matt was doing with B&B. Well, we started talking, started going through, and then Dave had another epiphany and said, you know what? What if you think if we do a combo with Matt's box set, and let's talk to Griff, because we know he does the, Lost Dungeons of Tonisborg, in the Blackmore campaign.
And he's always talking about helping other companies. So
yeah. And Griff had always been pushing, hey, the little publishers should stick together, promote each other, work together. And so Dave thought, hey, this was a great idea to do that. So we contacted Griff. We ran it by him. He was on board. So then all of a sudden it started to develop the idea, well, what do we do? How do we create a bundle? So then the bundle came, and then talking with Matt, we went back and forth. We talked about Portal to Adventure, and then all of a sudden that concept came. And then Dave came back and took it another step further, and he says, you know what? Why don't we do this as a Kickstarter? That'll kind of solve our pre-order issue, because we were thinking, how do we roll this out? How are we going to present it? How do we know how many are we going to need? What are we going to do? So Dave's like, why don't we do a Kickstarter? I'm like, a Kickstarter? When are we going to do this? And then we're like, well, we're close to Christmas, the season. Okay, we'll have to hit October. So all of a sudden we started hitting the ground running. We started putting together, it was Zooms, it was, conference calls with Griff and Matt, Dave, and myself, and back and forth. And before you know it, Arduin's Portal to Adventure came to be as a Kickstarter. We literally put this together in about 3 weeks, which is amazing, because we don't like, us, Shadow, we don't operate like that. We take months planning, get it. And this was
like, it's already printing.
Yeah. So we got to the point, we got Matt into full production mode. We started getting all the materials we need. We coordinated with Griff to get the books for the Lost Dungeons of Tonisborg, his books. And then Dave went nuts and got together this custom box. And we got our art director, Roland Brown, together. He started putting things together. We started going through all types of artwork and then going through the books, thinking what we can add, what we can put together. And what you see now is the Arduin Portal to Adventure, 3 games by 3 publishers. And there you go with Matt showing off the books there. The box sets and the Lost Dungeons and Tonisborg.
Nice.
Yeah, so you have that core element, and we're like, well, what more can we do? So we looked at it. We decided, why don't we add some character sheets to this? Why don't we add an item and monster card? And then we were like, why don't we take it even a step further? We created a combined Portal to Adventure combined character sheet. And we're like, Matt has been talking about the game of games. And we're like, why don't we embrace that concept, and we'll create a bundle that you can combine all the games, Lost Dungeons and Tonisborg, the Barrows and Borderlands, Arduin, and you could use it to play a game, mix and match what you want. The magic system, the classes, the races that are available, and voila, you have this. And then again, we expanded it, set a bundle. And then Dave, this was last minute, by the way, decided, why don't we have a premium case, like a museum piece that we can put the whole bundle in? And that came into being literally 24 hours before we launched the Kickstarter. That became into being. We just got the samples, we got everything, and we're like, let's give it a go. So that's kind of where, I know that was the quick version, but if you guys have anything to add, that was how Arduin's Portal to Adventure came to launch.
Well, I'll add the acrylic case wasn't that quick. It was behind the scenes without anybody knowing.
Did you get them from Tony? Did you get them from Tony?
What? Tony?
No. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. We talked to Tony, Shadow. Tony.
No. The other Tony. The Asian guy who does the signs.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh. Yeah, the comedian. Yeah,
comedian. Yeah.
No,
but yeah.
Dave sprung it on us. He was working on it behind the scenes, and all of a sudden, the samples are going to be in for the plastic cases. And we're like, what are you talking about?
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to clear off a shelf now. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. See, this whole side's my boy's side. You can't see it right now, but this whole side is his stuff. This stuff, maybe I can put it here if it'll fit.
It'll take some space. This is the size of one of the boxes that goes in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It'll fit. It'll fit here. I think. I'll just lower this.
Why don't you give it a knock, Dave? Show him the sturdiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need something like that for like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like traveler
and then
games
the top of it is magnetic. If you want to show them that.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah. I was wondering about that.
The nice thing is you can. I left the kick cover over here somewhere.
Oh, do you want me to? You got it.
Yes, Ultra American. I backed it twice just to get 2 cases.
Yeah.
And then I noticed I could
just on a certain way. I put it off to the side to not use.
Yeah. They got magnets in there, so they got to face each other the right way to lock in.
Go.
It just sits on there.
Yeah.
That's pretty sharp. That's pretty sharp.
But
and just so everybody knows, the box is just a mock-up.
I made a fake box a day ago because we didn't have one yet. We're waiting on the sample, which comes tomorrow. So I had to make something up real quick. It's a fast throw together, but for your old Arduin books or your other old box sets too, it'll fit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I've got my Traveler that's still in shrink wrap. I got my Snapshot. Those would go good together.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea, and just so everybody knows, these are just a mock-up. These aren't the actual boxes in there.
They still look great together.
Yeah.
The ones I was.
They really do.
These are the.
Matt has the real ones down there.
These are the real ones.
Yeah. So Matt has those are the real ones there.
Yeah.
I hate to say this though. I almost wish you could get them the other way, like a slip cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For different shelf orientation kind of thing. For display, that's the way you want to go.
Right.
But for I could see wanting to use those kinds of boxes. I buy a lot of comic books, and I do a lot of comic books. Yeah. And protecting these old books, I could see the same thing for old games.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have another box already developed too, with the cover of the new Arduin, Bloody Arduin.
Oh, okay. Right.
Those are the books there. I know we're kind of scattered around here, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
I'll reel you guys in.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are so nice.
Yeah. And these are the actual print books, so they're actually on there. Boogeyman.
And to describe a little,
some of that art is from either original or best available, which is not what was in many of the runs that were done by Grimoire Games.
Yeah, Dave, you were able to find the actual plates for some of it too.
Some of them, yeah. Some of the plates, some of the actual original art.
Wow.
Some of the covers.
There's so much history you guys have dug up out of, the Dave Hargrave's tomb practically.
Yeah, and the art on here was kind of left over. Monty St. John, who wrote the World Book of Kaz, had commissioned these, and we're using the artist, but we had no use for this art at the time, or the other art that Matt showed you. And there's another piece on the inside of the box.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just to let everybody know, again, that's a mock-up again, but on the Kickstarter is that little video. You'll see the actual box, 360. You'll see the whole thing there. And that, again, is all our custom artwork that we put together. Roland Brown, our art director, did a great job putting everything here together.
He really stepped up for us and odd hours. And
for the B&B books as well, I got some art from Emperor's Choice. So these are the only places these will be, because they're going with the Arduin books, but some cool Michio art.
That's so cool.
From 90.
You are one lucky.
I'm excited. I was like a kid in a candy shop when they were like, "Do you want to use this art on here?" I was like, "Well, first of all, Laura's Darkstorm art is awesome. Michio's art is awesome." And then I commissioned Castle Grief, who makes the Cal Aerith system, to do the Velociraptor fight. And no, I'm really excited about it. And as far as the paper goes, I did a lot of research whenever I was making Barrows and Borderlands, and in turn with Arduin to make sure that like the paper weights are the same as the original. We decided to go with a higher quality inner paper so that they'll last longer, stainless staples so that those won't turn rusty over time. And yeah, the covers are sturdy, and we wanted to make sure that these would last longer than the originals as well, because I know like OD&D and Arduin, they're like 50 years does a lot of things to a book, but maybe we can help with that.
Right. And like you were talking about earlier, the fact that some of these books are still even around, that haven't fallen apart, from opening and closing the way you guys have designed them, with the better paper, the better staples, all those things really mean a lot. A lot of us still have originals, and like Matt said, they're 50 years old, but they're still around. So that means yours, 75, 100 years, they'll still be around long after, books have been banned or burned, and they'll be in people's, underground railroads or libraries. They'll, it's going to be full of Arduin and Barrows and Borderlands books.
Matt's doing a great job with the production value, and
I had this psychic vision just a minute ago. I foresee a trip in your future, Matt, maybe even a full-on move out of state so you could be closer to George and Dave. If he keeps it up, he's going to have to move in,
Yeah, never know. But
up north with these Yankees? I don't know.
Call him like I see it,
We don't get those hurricanes like you got, though.
That is true.
What I wanted to say a little bit about the production value, like Matt was talking with the books, we are sparing no expense to get these, and these are handmade original reprints, modified reprints, like we stayed on the Kickstarter. And Dave dug into the vaults of Arduin. We shared whatever artwork we could with Matt, and we got the best pictures. It's all original artwork, so we haven't changed anything. Let me just reaffirm this, because people have been asking. The text and the artwork is all original from the original books. And even the artwork that Barrows and Borderlands that Matt's using from Arduin is all the original artwork as is. As far as being remastered, when I say that, what I mean is, like Matt alluded to, Dave tried to find the plates, tried to find the originals, whatever we have in the archives, in the MCHO vaults for Arduin. If we had original pieces or better looking pieces, we just replaced it in the book. That's all we did.
We took the best of every scan.
Exactly, was rescanned at a very high resolution and put in the book. Some of the text was remastered. Matt went in for clarity, not to change anything, just to make it clear. And the copyright trademark is the other stuff that was changed. Other than that, you're getting all the original material. And the inside of the book is not parchment. The covers are parchment for just about everything in the box set, but the character sheets, the item cards are all parchment. The interior for both sets, and again, Matt, let me know, if I'm off here, is a white linen paper. It's a very
natural white
texture, paper. So you're getting a very high quality. The staples, we just had, I don't know how many discussions we had about staples. They're stainless steel. They're a little bit bigger, longer, so that they catch more. So again, there's durability, and
because every Arduin book is 100 pages.
The Arduin book is taking it to the limit what you can do with these booklets. But the B&B books, Matt, you have a couple that are bigger, like the radioactive Boogaloo is a pretty big book now.
That adds 88 pages. I mean, all together across the three books, it winds up being over 800 pages. And
really,
I'd say three books, the two box sets and the third book, because you've got the Grimoires, you've got a adventure module, the Rancid Maw, and then in B&B you've got my 4 books, the Radioactive Boogaloo, which adds another 88 pages of content, new rules to add to your game, solo dungeon stuff, solo play in general, and then also the Dracula in Space module. And then Lost Dungeons of Tonisborg is, I mean, it adds a 10 level mega dungeon and very, very cool historical referenced rules for OD&D and some pre OD&D content in there. Zero edition dungeoneering stuff, and so there's a lot of content. I mean, that's probably my favorite part of it all, is that it's 3 compatible game systems that really act as a starting guide or like a starter set into classic play. Because I mean, you've got years of content in there.
Oh yeah,
I think altogether it's like, was that over 16 dungeon levels across all of them, and
just to let everybody know, when we say 800 plus pages, the Arduin trilogy has the 2 AG1s, the Earl Otis cover and artwork version, and then the Greg Espinozo. We are not counting that extra book. If we wanted to count the extra book, we'd be way over 900 pages. So without duplication, you're legitimately getting 800 pages of great material between the Arduin, the B&B, and the Lost Dungeons of Tonisborg. You're getting a lot of great material. And again, to the whole aspect of, putting this together, Matt did a compatibility guide for everything for Portal to Adventure, which was awesome, being able to mix everything.
I mix systems a lot at my table because we run it as a game of games. I mean, we play just about, I think in the past couple of years, we've done about 30 to 40 different systems that we play across my group because we like playing games. And so I'm used to making compatibility guides, but this one felt so seamless because Barrows and Borderlands is already weird science. Arduin is very weird science. And then with Tonisborg and stuff, you've got the original rules. You've got some of the stuff that didn't make it into OD&D, and then you've also got just this massive dungeon to explore in. But like, this is part of the compatibility guide, and this stuff on the Radioactive Boogaloo digitally, this can be got online, and you can go ahead and see what classes are added, what races are added, how the game functions, and then make an informed decision about the Kickstarter, because we really do think it's worth it. I mean, we're playing it at our table, so I'll pass it on again.
Actually, I want to get to the first question that I had for you guys, that I know people watching and people who will watch later are going to ask, because there's a lot of products out there. So and I'm gonna put you in the hot seat again, Matt. What does your game offer the gaming community that no other product offers?
A cross-compatible system and world that allows you to get into the mindset. It's sort of a paradigm shift game of play everything, game of games. And the whole idea of there is one system to solve them all doesn't really exist with us. We like to play games, and Arduin gives you multiversal travel. We've got, I know we could sit here and talk about all the classes and races and all this other stuff, but we've got 3 very detailed worlds, 2 of which have been worked on for 50 plus years, and one of which is my crazy musings that have been worked on for about 11 years. And it all just fits seamlessly. I mean, when we were going through it, we found points between the different worlds that really line up, and ways to hop into it. But yeah, it adds a different way of play, a paradigm shift.
Okay, same question, but in regards to Arduin, what does Arduin offer that no other game offers?
You want me to get that one, or you want George to get that one?
Yeah. It offers endless possibilities, a gold mine of ideas and springboards. That's what Arduin offers. There's nothing that you can't find in Arduin that won't springboard you to ideas and thoughts and take you to different places. That's what Arduin offers. Not only, like Matt said, that this bundle is a game of games and you have all this great material, but it's a minefield. It's a gold mine, Shadow, where you need an idea, you need a little bit of history, you need a cool drink, a cool food, a cool monster, a brand new hell, one of the 21 planes of hell, the Great Worm Road. It is a springboard, Shadowlands. It gives you little tidbits that is a springboard for your imagination, for new worlds, new ideas, a new concept. Maybe there's a concept in that book. In those 800 pages, you can mine it to find an idea, an aspect. Oh, advanced gunnery chart. Now I know what an AK-47 does, how much damage at what range, because there's a little chart in the Arduin book that gives it to you. Or I find something that talks about a very old system in the Lost Dungeon of Tossenberg in the back of the book that has some old ideas that came from Blackmore. Or you're looking for something new like, I mean, my party of adventures is on a world that's like Planet of the Apes, and there's radiation areas. Barrows and Borderlands has this whole radiation aspect and rules to it. So it's the minefield, the modularity, that if I need an idea, if I need an aspect of something, I could take it out of the game. And I think Arduin, B&B, Lost Dungeons and Tossenberg, the bundle, the Portal Adventure, feeds into that more so than any other thing out there right now. I think you have a plethora of ideas and springboards in this bundle. So that would be my take why it's different.
I also, to add to that, because I was getting excited there, because I just remembered too that Hargrave writes a lot of really cool notes throughout those books about how he actually ran his campaign. And that right there is really cool, because I know a lot of folks are getting into the older style of play as of late and running more sandboxy style worlds, bigger tables, multiple referees taking over games. And he has multiple situations in there that he details where he talks about how he handles different referees at his table, how he handles players going from one table and going over to another table and just, the other referee's accepting it. They're all playing in sort of a shared world across each other. It's kind of neat because it makes me think of like MMO style games, but sort of the origins of it, where it's just a shared universe, or I guess multiverse, all of alternity.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, I was getting excited there because I was just remembering about all those cool notes. I mean, he's got dozens of paragraphs in there where he'll just sit there and go, hey, this situation popped up in my game and this is how I handled it, or this is how I think you could handle it. And it's just really neat stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So like I said, to me, like I said, it's the mining of ideas that you need a concept, you need to do something. You can look through any of these books and find something that can help you.
Yeah.
Did you want to add anything to that, Dave? Because I got something.
I'd add something in here that's kind of aligned with this, but I'd say that we're in a thrust right now where we're coming out with the new Bloody Arduin rules, within a year and a half or so. And the idea here is that we get to close out some of the old product lines that were Hargrave and people were asking for copies of that we didn't quite frankly want to print because there just isn't a huge market for it. So it's our way to put out a nice quality product. Matt's actually manufacturing the books, and they're incredible, the quality. They blow away the old stuff. And it's a good homage for us to close them out and still sort of have them available. While we might not stock, 500 of them, but we'll probably have some on stock at all times. It's just a good way we could close them out and say, there they are. There's one final round of them. And we're doing that with all the old products from Arduin. And it's kind of tied in.
The question up on the board. Edgelord, I'm coming in new here, so excuse my ignorance. What rule set does it use, or is it its own?
So the core system in there would be Barrows and Borderlands, because originally Arduin was meant as almost like a supplementary to original Dungeons and Dragons, and it expanded quite a bit, 300 pages a bit. But Barrows and Borderlands is a system in and of itself. It's based in OD&D with some changes and some weirdness thrown in there. A lot more radioactivity, a lot more mutation. There's different spell systems throughout it too, but if you're familiar with AD&D, BX, OD&D, it won't be too far off as far as like gameplay and the gameplay loop there. And then when Arduin's thrown in there, you get all the way up to 100th level campaigning and wild multiversal adventures. But yeah, to answer the question, Barrows and Borderlands would be the core system, Arduin would be the expansion, and Lost Dungeons Tonesborg modifies it further because he's got notes in there that, like I said, didn't make it into original Dungeons and Dragons. So they add a lot to your game.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a word out there. Seeing as how I'm on the other side of the country, where Arduin, came about. Arduin has always been. It had this word attached to it. You guys know which word I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Gonzo. And my good friend Avenger Satanis just recently did a couple of books on it. And Gonzo's all about multi-genre, anything goes. There's a couple other aspects to Gonzo depending on your exact, take on it. But when I first got Arduin, that was what drew me into it because I was playing D&D and I was playing all these other games, Gamma World Traveler, Top Secret, and here was a game that wasn't afraid or didn't put up these borders, these walls saying you can't have this, you can't do that, you can't do the other thing, you can only do what's here. And both games, from what I'm reading and seeing, doesn't really seem to have a problem with adding anything from anywhere else just because, why would you do that to yourself? I mean, unless you're trying to play, like Call of Cthulhu and you don't want ray guns and stuff showing up in there. Okay, that's fair, but when you're playing a fantasy game, why would you put any limits on what you're doing, right?
Correct. And I think that feeds into what this whole bundle is, Shadow. And I know the term Gonzo, sometimes, you embrace it, but then sometimes I know it's used in a derogatory manner. Matt, I know has weird, and I like that, a weird, but to me, the proper definition of Gonzo for Arduin and what we're trying to do with this bundle is to have a canvas, a blank canvas that you can use your imagination to color, and it's limitless. And that means Gonzo, in that sense, means anything is possible. You can mix anything. Go into the game of games concept here that Matt has been using, that we've embraced with the bundle. This whole Arduin Portal to Adventure Kickstarter is you have all these ideas, you have all these concepts, and they're done in a primal fashion of old style, so to speak, D&D from the roots of the hobby. So it's compatible with anything out there, anything old school. It can attach to or modular you can take and put on there, but it allows you to expand it. If you have a historical setting, a weird fantasy, a weird Western fantasy setting, you can play it. You can have, black powder weapons, laser guns. You can have a sci-fi element to your game. And it doesn't have to take over the game. But what these, Gonzo or weird style, the Arduin style, which is the D&D style, and the Lost Dungeons at Tonesburg from Blackmore, because then the Blackmore game, they mixed sci-fi and different genres in there. It allows you to not be limited, like you said, Shadow. But it allows you, the rules allow you to play within the context of the game and not break the game. Because I think sometimes with Gonzo, people think Monty Hall. They think way over the top, which the game can be over the top, but it works within the confines of the rules. Nothing breaks the system, and that's what Arduin is about. And I think the core of this whole bundle and the whole Kickstarter is about here's all this great material that you get that you can use for your game. You can mine to play, or if you want, use the game as a combined game, and you can use Portal to Adventure as a game system. And again, you can take other systems and fit it in. It's that old school, TTRPG, tabletop
Yeah.
role-playing game in one bundle, and that's
It's
what this whole thing is about.
it's modularity, and when we're playing it at our table, and like sometimes we want more basic fantasy, sometimes we want more sci-fi. A lot of times we just have portals going to different worlds, and we say, okay, the physics work different here, so we're gonna mix the system up. We're gonna take these elements out, put these ones in, and we keep the game modular. And like when it comes to Gonzo, whenever I think of it, and that's why I use the term weird too, is because I think of like the pulp fantasy and pulp magazines. I think of like Clark Ashton Smith kind of stuff is what I see in Arduin, and it's fantasy, but it's also got this weird turn of, oh, maybe it's in the far distant future, or it's in a weird strange planet somewhere else, and those elements are really exciting to me, which is why when I did Barrows and Borderlands, I was trying to make that sort of a key element of it. And then, it's funny because Arduin fits like a glove to the B&B system as far as the Gonzo and the weird goes. I mean, there are things in there that I have not seen from any game since I've been playing. And from what I hear from some of the older players in my group too, that they haven't seen in any game since 74. So
It's amazing when you say that, because it's been around. Arduin has been out there. Maybe not in some of the numbers, that other publications, because of what happened, Dave passing and all that. But between Emperor's Choice and the original copies that are out there are plenty of copies out there for people who really want to dig and look around and get something new. And only these two systems, and there's a couple other games out there, but I'm not going to mention them because they don't answer my calls. That could have touched on these ideas in the style of play, and yet didn't. They just kept going a certain way, which today is still pretty much the norm out there. And that blows my mind that other people are okay with that, didn't want something more. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I read a lot of different fiction and fantasy, etc. And there's a whole lot of things out there that don't have a problem, mixing genres and doing things like that. But when it comes to gaming, it's like most games are this one genre in a box, and that's it. And you go inside the box and you play around, and then if you want something else, you close that box up and open up a completely different box.
Yeah, true. That's what I mean. They're very specific to their genre, their their specific genre and setting. Where we have a concept where it's a little more open, that you can hop to different genres, different settings, and use the rules as is or adjust the rules into those specific settings. So,
welcome to the show, Tony. I don't think we've met. There's a few new people here.
Tony, I remember. Tony, he wrote some stuff for us back in the day. My God. That's some old names coming out of the woodwork today.
Yeah, caught me off guard there.
Yeah, Tony. Oh my God. Yeah.
The horse joke. Oh man.
Oh geez, the horse.
So the Ultra American TTRPGer is in my game group, and we had a week-long discussion on horses in role-playing games. And he completely changed the way I thought about horses. That's for sure. I wrote an entire write-up on how they work in the role-playing game, and what the light, medium, and heavy horse, and all this other stuff. And don't worry, Ultra, I got something funny for you. I got something planned.
If you want some more horses, Arduin Grimoire 9 has a whole section on Arduin horses.
I was just looking at that today and thinking about Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultra, you're going to have to come on the show one of these times. Just saying, we keep bumping into each other on other people's shows. So the invite's open. Plus, I want to see what he's writing. Because I'm really, of all the games that I have, the post-apocalyptic, you know, genre is something that to this day I still don't think anybody's gotten right in game form. You know, I went through all the Gamma worlds, wasn't happy, not even close. Uh, and the Dying Earth, unfortunately, it's I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. Maybe it's gonna take care of some of that stuff. But to the point that I had to my ongoing AD&D game is a post-apocalyptic game where there was a big huge high tech, high magic society. Something bad happened, and now the players are dealing with the consequences hundreds of years later. And that's exactly what you've got going on, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I didn't want to write rules for any of that. I'll write modules and stuff like that, but making up the rules, I feel that all I would be doing is cutting and pasting rules from every other game that I like and putting them in one big book. And I don't want to do that. I'm lazy.
No, I feel you on that. I wasn't going to originally publish my game. So originally it was just for my group, and I had this huge guide. It was all
That was you.
It started with, yeah, it started with a quick start guide. And then my players were like, you should publish this. And I'm like, you realize how much work that's going to be? And you really think I'm going to do that? And they were like, yes, you have to, because we want it. And so then it was a very long journey. And it eventually did get published. But I feel you on that one.
I mean, yeah. I'll probably get, wrangled into writing something with rules, but I don't know.
That's half the fun.
And you know what? Ultra American, I didn't know that was you. Yes, I did. I did. I was one of the judges for the Red Room's Game Jam earlier this year, and he submitted one of the games, and I was one of the judges, and that's interesting because it was all anonymous. I didn't know who any of the writers were, because if we knew, we might be tempted to give them a little bit more of a Fonzie thumbs up kind of thing, but.
Ultra, I see you're reworking it for Shadow Dark, you traitor. Rework it for Barrows and Borderlands. I'm picking on him.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm not a huge fan of Shadow Dark. I'm on record.
I have a write up though, in case people are Shadow Dark fans. I did a write up on the website about how to use this in compatibility with your Shadow Dark games. If you are a fan of that, it goes over how to do all that. Because I've got a lot of my players that really love Shadow Dark 2, and I own it. I run it occasionally. I just like the OD&D base more, personally.
Yeah, I was laughing. Aftermath. I've only heard about that game. I wanted it as a youngster, but I never could afford it. And now that I can, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to buy it. I probably will eventually, but not anytime soon. Because all I ever heard was Aftermath, literally Aftermath, and I'm too old for that.
Yeah, I have a great copy of it.
I'm sure they're all great copies, because after reading it, people went, "Yeah."
Someone brought up
it's easier than the old Bushido.
Yeah, Bushido Moro Project. I remember.
I'm a big fan of the Fantasy Games Unlimited games. I have a bunch of them. No players, man.
Yeah.
True.
Villains and Vigilantes was an absolute work of perfection. 47 pages. I'm on record saying that if I could only have one game on a desert island, it would be that, because I could literally use it to run any game I wanted. And it's only 47 pages. The only problem is I'd have to have a solar calculator to do the math, because some of it is I literally have to have my son help me roll up characters for that game, because I don't know how to do a bunch of the math. Sorry, I'm not a math guy.
My players. I was going to say real quick on the Villains Vigilantes. My player's favorite campaign back in high school was it wasn't Village Vigilantes, but it was a superhero campaign that we ran for a very long time. And it was the thing is though, back then we'd only been playing tabletop games for about a year, and then when we hopped into that, we hated all the rules of what we found, so we didn't even use any rules. We just had dice sitting off to the side, and they're just like, write your powers on there. There's no balance. Just roll something. But
Yeah, balance is an illusion.
yep.
So I want to get to my next question because I'm curious going forward on a couple of things. This is a long question. I'm going to start with you, George, this time. What sort of support does Emperor's Choice offer in the way of back and forth communication, feedback, or inclusion to your own circle of designers, players, or other contributors like Facebook, Discord, or one-on-one communications for the resolution of questions, disputes, or the inclusion to future products?
Okay. Well, for immediate needs, especially for the Kickstarter, admin at mcho.com. You can contact us at any time for any questions, concerns with the Kickstarter, anything about shipping.
Dave, can you put that down in the private chat and then I'll post it?
Yep.
Yeah, the admin here. I'll send it to you. Admin at mcho.com. So for anything with questions about the Kickstarter, anything about shipping, anything at all, that's the main email to contact us for. Other than that, as far as the actual products themselves, for Arduin questions and stuff like that, the Portal to Adventure, we have Arduin.com is the site which we have a forum that's going to be the backbone of the support system for eventually ABA, but also it'll be there for Portal to Adventure. It'll be there for any of the Arduin material too. So we're going to be eventually utilizing that for support. I know in addition, Matt, obviously with Barrows and Borderlands and Portal to Adventure, Matt has an active Discord, which I think would be very supportive. Matt, and like I said, Matt, whenever you feel to jump in.
Yeah, my server, you can hop on there. We got tons of nice guys, multiple referees that can help out. We also are more than happy to help you with character creation and show you stuff and all kinds of cool things. It's also an open campaign, so especially when the Kickstarter comes out and you guys all get your product, you can come play it with us. So we've got over 100 people in there, and for some reason we're crazy and we just don't have table limits. So it's a massive ongoing campaign, so you'll be able to play it right out the box.
Yeah.
Can you throw in Discord links, both of you guys? And I can also post them for people who are watching this later.
And I think Thomas Griff supports his product pretty well too. I mean, he's got a whole con for it, ArtyCon, which is going on 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be the 10th through the 12th. I'll be there too. So if any of y'all are going, you can come join my table. And I'm bringing some of this stuff with me, and so you can see parts of what's going to be in the Kickstarter before it's even finished. So,
yeah, you, Matt, should probably have the sample box in your hands for that. So that's pretty cool.
That's up to the mail. Yeah. So if it shows up, I'll have that there. Y'all can mail it to the hotel. And regardless, I'll have the books with me. We'll sit and play some games and just have a good convention.
Yep. I expect the real ones in hand tomorrow, but if I don't, I can always part with this masterpiece that I made.
Yes. The Dave special.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely want to give a definite shout out. I'm glad you brought that up, Dave, with Articon 3 coming up. That's the 10th through 12th. That's next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Definitely old school. You're going to have some very, again, big names there where you have Ken San Andre, David Wesley, I believe, is there.
Yeah. Bill Hoyt will be there. Greg Gillespie. I know. I think Diversity and Dragons will be there too. He's hanging out, and I know we've got a bunch of guys from my server. I got a couple players coming with me this time, so I'll be running games.
Might be running a game, right?
Yeah, I have an official table I'm running. I mean, that one's got a lot of people in it right now, but I'll be running games during most of my free time.
Did I hear for 30 players?
I think they have me for 13 or 14 right now, but I mean.
So what's another 17?
Yeah. What's another 17? I'll just take up the entire gaming hall and.
Can I play remotely? Because I'm free that day.
Yeah.
Hey, that would be funny. I'll have you as my computer in the corner. You'll be the system AI.
I'll wear a black turtleneck. You guys can just call me Holly.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe
But
Griff
no.
will be in that game too, and you can assassinate him.
All right. No, Griff will be playing in. He's running a Sunday morning game, and then
Okay.
so they're doing a Blackmore game, a Brownstein. So if y'all really want to see like the first like role playing scenario, they've got one of those, and
So that's pretty cool.
it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun, guys. So definitely check that out.
The way Griff does his videos, if anybody, definitely check these out. The Informal Game on YouTube, and you have Griff Morgan who does these awesome videos, these 20-minute, 10 to 20, 30-minute videos about how to do different things in games, cities, dungeons, how to switch things up. So I can't imagine Griff. All I imagine is Griff running his game like that, where he gets out, he's got the notebook, pencils. Okay,
he dims the lights during his game, and we're all in there with coffee. It's usually on the last day, so it's nice and chill. And then it's just Griff's voice for a couple hours. So, it's like, we've got a couple skeletons coming up. All right. Roll initiative. So it's a good time.
Yeah, it's probably definitely a good time.
Yeah. But anybody, I would do a shout out. Check out his videos; they're awesome. And
another link I'll post it.
Articon 3 the next weekend, the 10th through 12th. Matt will be there, with B&B, and we will be getting him a sample. He'll have a live sample of the Kickstarter there. We're going to get it to him. So
there we go. And my Discord link is down there. The Arduin email and the site and stuff. I see you popping those in there, so that'll be good. And the Facebook group too.
Stormbringer.
Stormbringer.
I've got everything, guys. Come on.
Yeah. You can pull out all types of stuff, Shadow. I can imagine how many things you have. And I do want to say, I want to thank everybody. I don't want to forget this. I want to thank everybody who's pledged to the Kickstarter, everybody who's backing us right now.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That is freaking awesome. I mean, you had us blow by within the first hour, less than an hour from what I remember. We were funded. It was the late night or early morning this morning. Good God.
Yeah,
same day.
I was watching it on there, and I'm like, okay, this will be cool. And in my head, I'm like, because I'm already printing the box sets and going ahead and get ready so that people don't wait 6 years for something to show up. But immediately I'm on there looking. I'm like, oh, let's see how it's going so far. And I'm like, oh, guys, it's funded. Okay. Like
I told you. Yeah, I told Matt the other day that I'd wish him luck, but he's not going to need it. The same goes for you guys. I think you're gonna hit that 50 grand easy, but
my poor printer.
Yeah.
You'll be getting a new
I'm picking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Poor Matt's doing most of the work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I'm enjoying it. It's awesome.
We'll have our hands full with fulfillment, but
yeah. Well, we're going to be out in the cold here doing some cast.
Yeah, we're going to cast.
So I want everybody to know that with you've blown past, I'm going to be doing an update this week, probably Friday. I'll do our first update on the Kickstarter, kind of let everybody know what's happening, where we're at. We might have some things that we'll announce then. But we've blown by the first 2 stretch goals. So those are miniatures. It's the 2 Sluggoths miniatures and then the Wendigo. So we will be casting those up. We have some in stock. We're going to have to be doing some casting here in October. But, we're more than happy to do that. Some nice lead-free pewter miniatures for everybody. Anybody who's gotten the bundle or the Arduin Trilogy box set, you're going to get those stretch goals. And we're very happy. We're very thankful for everybody. This is cool. We want to
get the new packaging.
Yep. And in the new packaging. Yes. All the new packaging that we have with the miniatures. So, but wanted to give a shout out to everybody. And we're just going to kind of evolve as the Kickstarter goes here. So we're just beginning. It's still day one of the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Technically for a few more hours.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to throw in the catalog too. So,
yeah.
Nice. Hey, what's up, Mini Wormud? Is the game beginner friendly? Also, solo play available?
Yes,
Yes,
it
and
is.
yes.
And I have a little announcement, a little project that's going for that solo play thing. This is just a hobby fun project, so it's not like another Kickstarter or anything like that. But I'm working on a system to help out even more with solo play because of how many players we have. Won't get into all the details about it, but if anybody here is familiar with like MUDs, multi-user dungeons, imagine something like that, but without any of the combat resolution, so it's still a tabletop board game. You're still rolling real dice and little stuff like that. Help track out solo players. But even on its own, Radioactive Boogaloo has an entire detailed section just on solo play in my campaign. It actually tells you how to upload the log as well. So all of it's solo friendly and
That's for,
beginner friendly.
that's for Tony. This is actually a Heritage original. I do have the archives though.
Nice.
About the Throne, those are actually Tharks. There was one part of the question you guys did not actually cover, so I want to go back to that. Basically, I'll just re-sum it up. Are you guys taking any submissions for art, articles, um, adventures? Anything in written or drawn form? Are you guys uh, taking anything like that, or will you just return to sender unopened, unread?
I, I mean, I'll look at stuff. I know a couple of the players in our group. They write some compatible with Barrows and Borderlands content and stuff like that. And we've got some awesome artists. Usually, most of the artists I meet are through the Discord. So, I mean, if you're interested, come show me your stuff. I mean, I love art. So,
Or meet you at Arnicon in a couple of days.
yeah, exactly. Put me on the spot and show me your art.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Bring a portfolio that you can hand over.
Here's my Little Pony drawing, and can I get a? No, but it'll be good. I don't know about George and Dave though. I don't know
We
if
have
they're
a full
these
stable,
guys.
but that doesn't mean we don't look at other stuff to add. I'll give you a for instance. We have the new box for the Portal to Adventure. Well, we're simultaneously printing another box, which we haven't shown pictures of. And actually, in that box or on that box is a full 8.5 by 11 piece done by another gamer. And he's been a long time Arduin guy. I don't want to give out his name because I don't know if he wants it given out, but maybe George would know if he wants it given out, but I'm not sure.
I'll check with him, but he sent us some artwork he did, and it's gorgeous. And
It's a pretty sweet piece, I'm telling you. And
his initials wouldn't be E and O, would they?
I can't say.
I will talk to him, and the next time we come on, I'll make sure that
he knows, he's seen it. I don't know if George showed him the box mock-up or not, but we did tell him that we're using it and it's a go. And
yeah, he was
Roland Brown did our artwork for the cover on that, and we've got other artists, but like I said, it does not mean we don't look at other stuff and entertain it. Usually the price has to be workable for us because we're comfortable with our arrangements now. But
I know the feeling.
Yeah, we keep an open door with everybody, so we
100%.
are always willing. There's always new people that'll come along, and we have people behind the scenes that are looking, that are going to be producing or have produced things that we're going to roll out. Even with the Kickstarter here, if you look at the the Radiation Velociraptor card and the mall that we have, those were done. One was done, the Raptor was done by Outer Church, an artist, and then the other was done by Castle Grief, the mall. So, and that's something we didn't know. We got them. Yeah, the same person who did Matt's cover there and
this one,
Dracula in Space. We didn't know who they were, and we connected because of connecting with Matt. So we're always open, Shadow. We're not going to promise that everything will work out, but we're always open to listen or to take a look.
The reason I ask is I get this question a lot, and I could see for you guys where the answer would be we're good.
I think there's a lot of people out there that want a chance, and you know what? A lot of companies won't give them a chance.
Exactly.
I mean, we had John Uziak. He got poached from us, and I just talked to John today, and it's all good. He'll still do stuff for us, but
it goes all the way back to the origin of the game too, because in the Errol Otis cover, the first printing, it says the artwork contained within this book is the sole effort of a very talented young man named Errol Otis. 10 years hence, I'll be proud to say I knew him when. So you never know when something like that's going to happen.
Yeah, and look at the cover on Matt's box there, Laura. That was a cover done for us.
That was
the cover's older than Matt.
Yeah, it is. Well, actually, it's I'm 90. I'm not that young. 99.
Okay,
I got it by 1 year.
By 1 year. Laura
our originals that we never released.
Correct. That was done by Laura Darkstorm Church, and she did that piece back in 2000. And I think what the intent was, from what I can remember, Dave, if you'd see, it's a big time mimic of the original Arduin. Yeah, if you have the boxes there, Matt,
it's a large piece too.
Yeah, it's a nice full size large drawing she did. And when we were discussing with Matt, the box sets, and he was looking for something, we're like, we got something here, and he fell in love with it, and it fits perfectly, yin and yang, with Arduin and B&B, the two box sets.
It's pretty cool. So, I imagine it's the same wizard, just the young and the old one.
Younger version.
You got Barrows and Borderlands, and then you got the old wizard, makes it advanced.
Correct.
And it's an unreleased piece, so it's extra cool.
So that shows you, Shadow, even though it might not happen now, it may happen down the road. And again, to be fair, not all things work out or are compatible, or it's not the right time or right thing. So I don't want to say we always accept everything. It's all situational. And like I said, that's a perfect example. 25 years later, that piece of art comes out of nowhere. And to be honest, it's the perfect fit for what we're doing right now with the bundle for Matt's B&B special edition in the Portal to Adventure bundle. It just, like it was meant to be. See, we saved that, Matt, for you for 25 years. We said down the road.
Yeah, we knew you were going to be born.
Powers. I knew you were going to touch your temples. I knew you were. Psychic powers. So.
All right, we're going to segue into the next question. Hey, it's actually fitting because of where Dave was going. What can backers of this project expect going forward, like new expansions, modules, or other add-ons in the near or distant future?
Why don't you go first, Matt?
I want to
talk, and then I'll get into some of our stuff.
I have Radioactive Boogaloo. I release new books of those all the time. They're always a free PDF. The only time you pay for it is if you want me to print it out and make it look pretty and send it to you. But it has new classes, modules, musings, just weird things I want to come up with. And I also am planning on writing a lot of adventures. I'm actually already working on a few with a couple of my players. It's really their project, but I got to put my hands in it because it's too cool, and I want to see how it turns out. Helping them out with like layout and stuff, and tons of B&B adventures and modules. And like I said, the Radioactive Boogaloos are always fun. Like the first one that comes in the bundle adds, as a physical comes in the bundle, adds stuff like Mecha Ronin and Chronomancers and 130 mutations instead. And like I said, all solo rules, a dungeon, and a whole hex guide for the Borderlands. So for traveling there, it's got all the hexes. So
that's awesome. And this material, everything Matt's doing, when you talk about the Kickstarter, fits in completely with the Portal to Adventure. It's all compatible.
I actually detailed that there is, here's how to get your players to go between the three worlds of Arduin, Barrows and Fernum, which is the world of Barrows and Borderlands, and Blackmoor, which is the world of Lost Dungeons of Tonisborg. So it says right there, you guys go through a hell spiral or go through a cave and come out the other side like Fafhrd and Grey Mouser and Adept's Gambit. A few people will get that. only a couple, but stuff like that. You just go world to world. My players do it all the time.
Absolutely. And to that effect, when you talk about Portal to Adventure and what, as far as MCHO and Arduin, we're just going to add more material because we do have a future projects coming up. And you're looking at the dungeons, which we're deciding on the original 4 dungeons that Dave Hargrave did, Caliban, Howling Tower, Citadel of Thunder, Death Heart. We're going to be remastering those in the future. We're talking about redoing the cards, remastering the cards that came, the item and monster cards, not only for the module, but the generic ones. And that material is going to be in the same old school Arduin format, which is 100% compatible with the Portal to Adventure bundle. So it's another add-on to that. And a year from now or so, one of the projects that we do have that we're looking at as another Kickstarter is the Combined book, which we're going to take all the Arduin books, the AGs 1 through 9, the additional 4 through 9 material that's going to be fit in, Arduin Adventure, and any other things that might possibly be added in. So as far as expanding, what's the expansion to Portal to Adventure? It's going to be the B&B stuff. It's going to be the additional Arduin material that we have that can fit into it. You have more material. I know on Griff's portion with the Blackmore and his Lost Dungeons at Taunisburg, I believe he has a module that he's going to be doing. I know he has a Robert Kuntz module, right, Into the Wilds, that's available on his website. And again, it's all old school and it's fully compatible. So right there in the next year, you can see where we're going to be adding more material that you can use with this bundle, and you can add and put into the bundle or use as you see fit. So we do have other material coming that will fit perfectly into the Portal to Adventure as far as the future in the next year.
I'd also be willing to interject on that just a tad too, is not only does that allow us to close out the original Hargrave materials into nice formats, but it also gives us a transition into the new Arduin Bloody Arduin, which is going to be 100% compatible with it. And it looked like you're drinking out of one of the mugs that we handed out to only a select few people.
As a matter of fact,
and that is the cover on one of the modules that we've already have written.
I drink out of this coffee cup every single video that I make.
And that's one of the first modules we have that's done. And we have several of them already written and ready to go for the new system.
So let me get this straight. You're going to make this is 1 through 3 in hardcover.
Yep.
Plus the Arduin Adventure. So
Yep.
you're going to put the other
all the other books.
So basically, I'm going to need like.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, what Matt has in his hands. Exactly. We're gonna take all.
It'll be an 8.5 by 11 book, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be an 8.5 by 11.
Okay, because this one's a little smaller. Are you going to have somebody edit it like you did this one and organize everything differently?
Yeah,
because the original trilogy was kind of the word formatting didn't exist back in the 70s.
Right.
So I forget the lady you had do the work on this one.
Becky Oziecki.
She did a phenomenal job.
Oh, yes, she did.
If you can get her back or her offspring or whoever you can find.
Right now it has fallen on me, so
yeah.
We'll see if I can carry that ball.
Yeah, we do have an editor though, Shadow. We have an editor. Yes. We have a layout person.
Because I love this book. I don't even touch my original copies of the trilogy because
we have a backup plan.
Yeah.
You guys are jumping ahead to question number 5. I'm going to go to number 5.
Well, real quick, one other thing on that whole thread there was
Fox.
As far as other supporting product too, a quick surprise would be that map behind me on a piece of paper. We have many country maps that are already remastered. and that's one of the ones behind me that is remastered, and that's the country of Gorfar.
Do I need to break Jackie out of retirement for more flags?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I might
But
need
you
some
can see
flags.
that's an original Hargrave. For those who thought Hargrave didn't do a lot, that's just one more map he did. And that George could show you where that's located on the country map behind him if he wants to. It's up in the right corner underneath
Fox, you're stealing my questions, man.
Yep.
That's question number 4, but I'm skipping
the yep, opposite side, George. All the way on the other side. Yep.
All the way
Up. Right there. And there's 2 major maps for that. One is just this little island here. And that map's this big.
Yeah.
And then the other map, this is probably, I got to figure out a way to shrink this map.
Dave, you got it wrong. Go Far is over here. Go Far.
Oh, you're backwards then on the map. Okay.
Yeah.
It's flip
yeah.
screen.
I didn't realize you were backwards on the
Yeah.
screen.
Go Far. It's like this much. It's about a 3-inch.
Yeah, it is. I could see now where you got the desert.
Yeah, it's up
But,
over here. Because
And to give you an idea, we're not exactly shopping right now for map artists because we literally have continents upon countries, and continents that we're working on simultaneously, as well as dungeon maps. Right now, we're remastering many of the Hargrave dungeon maps.
Yeah.
I have 20 more to edit for Skull Tower alone, and I've already edited 20.
For those of you who don't know out there in TV land, my son drew all the flag images that are on the outside border of the map behind George.
Yeah.
He did it between his first month of his freshman year of high school, I think, summer vacation. Instead of going out and playing and doing stuff, right before he turned 15, he drew all of those and sent them off to George and Dave. 2 years ago now? 3 years?
Yeah, he did a great job.
I think 2 years.
There's a lot of dialogues I had with him about that I learned about vexiology. So
yeah,
I went all the way to Scotland to talk to a real vexiologist. I didn't fly there. I talked to him over the internet.
Right.
We chatted for a long time before I even knew your son was into this, and I was trying to hire him. And it's hard to get a real vexiologist to do fantasy flag.
We're going to get Jackie back into the fray here probably next year at some point because I think we are going to have some extra projects coming up. You know your word, Shadow. We'll take him out of retirement. Tell him just to be ready, have some time available next year.
I'll just chain him to his PC and it'll be fine.
Yeah,
There
and
you
I want to let you know,
keep him in Doritos and apple juice.
I want to let you know, with people have asked questions because I've seen it. I know on Reddit someone was asking, are those historic flag? What are those flags? So people really notice, and it's very cool. And I just want everybody to know the amount of work that Shadow's son did was unbelievable. And these map and the flags, and they're all based on, like I said, the vexology and the regions. They would use some of the same colors. It was all.
He was using the legendary lands of Arduin for all the information.
It was really.
He did his homework. He really did. I wish he would do his homework with other things, but
And to let people know, you get 2 of these maps. This map, you get the large and small version right in the bundle. The 2 maps that you get are the continent map folded that come in the bundle. So you get this right in there.
So Fox stole my question. Was at number 5. So we're going to go with my version. Sorry, Fox. Which was.
Did you have something to add, Matt? I know you were trying to. Sorry.
Question number 4.
No, sorry. My cat was yelling at me, so I was muting her.
Okay.
Go back. Throw a shoe at it.
What was the cat saying? Was the cat saying, Matt, you got to do flags too? Matt?
Yeah, the cat. Yeah, I think I need some B&B flags. So
I'll talk to him.
That'd be
He
cool.
works cheap.
hey, there you go.
So
Right.
my question number 4 was, what is your own personal favorite part of this project together? Matt?
My favorite part, other than the modularity, if I go more, smaller scale on it, because obviously the whole thing I'm going to use at my table. But I guess really the litany of choices. My players like a lot of spells, and there are quite a bit in this. I think what was it?
I was
Over
impressed with some of them as well.
Yeah, and we've got tons of monsters for referees to use. Even if you're using it in a different world, there's over 300 unique monsters. There's 35 plus classes, 65 races. I mean, it's a lot of content. But I think my favorite thing, and probably what I'll play at my table, I've got to play a star powered mage who's a Fraint. I've got to got to be a red Fraint star powered mage.
Yep.
Nice.
Too cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing my star powered mage in the next play test. It's only been like a year, just saying.
Stop. All right. I know.
I have another World War II playtest you could bring them into.
I'll talk to my friend Brian as well, from the Weird World War II channel.
Hey.
I just talked to him today.
We're going to get Matt into a game too.
Oh yeah. I definitely want to know what it's like to game with Matt. I've gamed with a lot of great gamers over the years, but
and that's what is me excited about the bundle is I'm really embracing, and I think Mcho is really going to embrace the game of games, and that's what I really like about the bundle and what this Kickstarter represents. The Arduin's Portal to Adventure, I love that, and I think the heart of that is the game of games. It's a portal just like Arduin. You can go to any place, any time, any universe. And that means anything. Oh, superheroes. Oh, Western. Oh, World War II. Steampunk. The 21 Planes of Hell. Whatever the flavor is. Mm-hmm. You go to a whole Oriental adventure, continent or universe. Maybe you run into Dracula in space. You never know. All types.
Or Dracula in World War II. You never know.
Yeah. But what I love about that aspect, Chattel, with this, my favorite aspect is that game of games where I can mix and match. I can take a party, and the party can go from Arduin that hops into the B&B, into Barrows and Borderlands, that finds its way down into Blackmore and finds itself lost in the dungeon of Tannisborg. That's the heart of this whole thing, and to me, I love it because it's a mixing of that I could be using my broadsword one game, and then the next game I'm taking out my laser gun to take something out, and I'm finding some ancient relic. So it's that whole aspect that I really love. For me.
To add to that too, because I was just thinking about it, Blackmore was already a science fantasy setting too, because Arneson had like ray guns and phasers and weird. He had there were like aliens in his setting.
The original Blackmore supplement had all kinds of weird stuff like that, and the original trilogy, the original white box had a whole bunch of John Carter of Mars references in the encounter tables.
In my home campaign, Barsoom is just one planet over from the Borderlands, and then we've got Hyperborea flying around Kronos, and I've got planet Eris on the other end of the solar system, and so now I've got tons of worlds to head to.
Absolutely. That, like I said, that to me is the heart of it. I think it's really cool where you can have all the mixing of stuff. It's just great. Yep, Dracula and World War II. We've got a lot. Like I said, we've done play tests with World War II stuff, and again,
those were fun.
Blackmore, wasn't it? Am I thinking the Egg of Coot? Wasn't
the Egg of Coot?
And I think that had a whole sci-fi vibe to it.
It was almost a Lovecraftian monster. I mean, you're talking this indescribable horror that nobody can really seem to pin down.
Correct.
So
so there's a whole mixture, and to me, that's what this whole bundle and the whole Kickstarter is kind of the springboard for Game of Games, and I see us all together supporting it as companies in the future and putting more material out there.
You guys keep reminding me when I first got into the hobby, like I was playing AD&D. And I was also playing Traveler and a bunch of other games. And for me, it was we had to use other games while playing other games. Kind of like you know how you needed Wilderness Survival and Chainmail to play to play White Box. There was no one game that did it all perfectly. You had to pull
Correct.
stuff from other things. I had to, you know, in original AD&D before the Wilderness and Dungeoneer Survival Guides came out, my players needed skills, and we needed a skill system. All I had was Traveler, but you know what? We just pulled that in, and it worked. Later on, we would use other things, and it's refreshing to see people willing to admit that their game can never be perfect without somebody else's game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really, you can't. You know, you would literally spend your entire life codifying everything, and no one would ever get to play it because they'd be too busy playing all these other cool games and adding them to the game of games.
I want to bring this up because this is something I brought up last time, but you say like the game can never be perfect, and that's a big part of the early gaming. In Alarms and Excursions, I think it's number 2. Gary Gygax says, you see it here. He says that if all of fantasy had been figured out, like if it's all been codified, then it would be boring. The hobby will have become boring and stagnant. So if it, you know, the moment I say, oh, look, my game's complete, there should be no other game, that's all you'll ever need, that's all you'll ever do. Well, sorry, that'd probably be when I leave the industry, because that'd be when it's boring. So,
You'd also have written yourself out of a paycheck.
yeah, exactly. So
It's kind of why characters never die in Star Trek, because they wouldn't be able to sell action figures. But sorry, yeah,
Hey,
you can't do it. You know, just because you play God as the referee, you aren't him. You're going to need more people, more players, more ideas, because you'll never think of it all. And someday some player is going to come along with some goofy, cockamamie, harebrained scheme, and you will not have the rules for it. You're going to have to make the call right there on the spot, and hopefully you won't just go no, because that's bad DM. Don't do that.
there's always a chance. Now, I mean, I will say the Portal to Adventure is quite a deadly system. I would consider all the characters to be red shirts. So,
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Yeah.
right.
Well, I'm gonna backtrack to my favorite question, even though it's my last question. What plans do you have to continue working with each other? Can we expect to see more collaborations between the three of your companies?
Never. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Yeah.
Screw those guys. I'm going home.
Tired of these New
This was
Yorkers, man.
historic. One time. Thank you. Bye. No,
Bam, thank you, ma'am. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, no. You know what's funny is part of it, I would say, I think there are things in the future just fit naturally going forward that will be done. And we're already doing certain things. Like I know we've talked about this before with Griff Morgan. We've been doing these interviews of Dave Hargrave, former players, and people, family members, and so forth, and other industry people who knew of Dave Hargrave or were influenced by Arduin. So we've been naturally working with Griff this whole time. And now that we've connected with Matt, I see us collaborating. Like this whole Kickstarter was a collaboration. And we've already got plans, for the future, maybe to do some other things. I can see things developing in the future together. Just like we talked about the next year with the Portal to Adventure, it's just a natural fit right now. Even if we're doing the Arduin combined book, I don't see an issue with Matt possibly doing some new material that would come along with the Arduin book. I could see something where with Griff, with Blackmore, if they're coming out with a module or coming out with other material, something in the future. And like I said, we already have a tightness there with, Griff and now with Matt. and with Griff with the interviews that we're doing, which is important to us, that whole documentary about Dave Hargrave and who he was and how much of an influence he had on the industry. So there's a big tie in there.
And Griff was one of the first people to share my game because I was the one that bothered him at the convention and said, hey, look, they made this little thing. So yeah, I definitely see cool things in the future.
Yeah.
These guys are awesome. I mean, George and Dave, I knew when I first called them, my first thought was, okay, so Arduin's really, really cool, but who are these guys? What's going on? And then by the end of the conversation, after being talked to about Thunder Bunnies and Dio Dance, I was like, oh, these guys actually love the setting. They love the game. They want to keep playing it. And that's exactly what I want to do. So I think it was my first question to y'all was, are we going to make cool stuff?
Yep.
And that was
It was actually
2 months ago. So
yeah, it was like, are we going to make cool stuff? And we're like, yes. What do you mean? Of course we're going to make cool stuff. So no, it's a natural fit. You know, all three companies here, it's a natural fit together. And again, we've already been working with Griff now for a while, and it just was a natural evolution. And he talked about this, where he talked about small publishers in the industry coming together. So the basic, I know it's a long-winded answer, but yes, is the basic answer, Shadow, that there will be things in the future we're already doing and could possibly do in the future. So yes, is the answer to that question.
Good. You guys are a match made in heaven. And like I was telling Matt the other day, everything happens for a reason. The big guy is watching over all you guys and getting you together to do something great. There's a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of really, really inferior, shoddy products when it comes to games. Trust me, I know I own half of them. They're all looking for good homes, and just not at my table. But these things that you guys have done, obviously Arduin's been part of my gaming table since before Matt was born, and before I met you guys. Arduin was always my secret weapon. As a DM, it was these three little books that I had that nobody else knew about. Nobody ever got to read them. Nobody ever got to touch them. Don't even look at them. And I would pull out crazy little things, that would just blow their minds. That would not expecting it. The war wheel. Oh my God! I just love throwing that at a group of players. What the hell is this? You describe it. It's this big giant metal and biological wheel with two eyeballs sticking out of the side of it, giant spikes running down its center, and it's coming right at you. What do you do? It's just crazy stuff that nobody ever expected. Kind of like the Spanish Inquisition, but funnier. And
I love that. I love it. Kind of like
you never expect it.
Yeah.
and better, just great everything, whether it's the wacky gonzo-ness of it, whether it's the actual in-depth real world experiences that were baked into every word that Dave wrote, whether it was the mixing and pulling of ideas from other places and making them your own. So many designers and companies out there have their heads firmly wedged in a place that it shouldn't be, and are afraid to borrow and think that everything they do is perfect and great, and it's really mostly just watered down stuff that's been done before. Afraid to get too powerful or too crazy, or give the players too many choices. And you guys do not seem to have any of that going on for you, and for that, mucho applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Shadow. About that, again, like we were talking, answering some of the other questions, it's about being able to play how you want, add what you want, take out what you want, mix and match, everything that is available. If you find something new, put it in the game. Just kind of like when Matt does. Hey, we're gonna play some dungeon today, or we're gonna throw this game in. This game of games concept. And that's something we look back when we look at some of the stuff with Dave Hargrave, and we find that those concepts were kind of in the primal stage of boiling around back in the day, where it was, let's play the game of the game. Swords and Dragons, the card deck that you get in the bundle there is a game of games, where you're playing a game within the game, and it's used for different things within the portal to adventures. So, and there you go. Of course, you have a deck there, Shadow. Yes, exactly. And that's
it's great for babysitters.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
If you guys haven't seen it, just a quick shout out. Daddy Rolled the One did a live stream with us, and back in the day, we did a commercial for the cards. That it just makes me laugh every time thinking about. Yeah, great for babysitters. Yeah.
Dude, I need a commercial like that, but for B&B. I need to get my VHS camera out. That'd be a fun one.
And did you like how it starts where it's like an old 50s, it's black and white and then goes to color?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I want to do one where it's like Dynaco employees from Barrows and Borderlands. And they're like testing out our new lightsaber. And it's just John's arm.
You should hook up with Jackie. That's his thing. I'm telling you, he could probably what was that? God, I wish he was here right now. He's still at school. He's a big fan of things like that sort of retro 8-bit kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
There were a couple of what do they call those? Alternate reality games on YouTube where you watch a video. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
What was the one with the one company with the guy with the claws? And
was it? It wasn't Omega Mart, was it? Or
no?
I'm trying to think of the videos. There's a bunch of them on there that are quite funny, though.
He's big into stuff like that, and using his camera to make schlocky videos. Let's just say that. I forgot to give you his channel so you could check out his videos.
Yeah, send it to me.
I'll do that right after the show.
My quote unquote day job is a videographer, and I work a bit with film and theater. So and it's always the weird, funny stuff that's the most fun. It's what we all actually want to make. So,
mm-hmm. I was thinking about something else. I have communications with a lot of other gamers and companies and things like that, and designers, and what you guys are doing is actually kind of brand new to the whole concept. Every other company out there wants to corner the market and get their customers to only shop with them, and would happily set the other companies on fire if they had the chance to put them out of business. You know what I mean? It's really cutthroat out there. The idea of working together with another company and not making like a big super mega corporation, but just actually working together, friendly like, as opposed to, oh, their game sucks, buy ours instead. You know what I mean?
Well,
right?
We have.
That every other big company out there, especially the top companies, they don't and will not work with anybody else. They don't play together nice. They want to step on the little guys. Some of the bigger companies actually go out of their way to do so, and you guys have got something going on that nobody else is willing to do or able to do because of their own ego.
If I tried to corner the market, it would be so antithetical to how we actually play our game at our table, because we grab stuff from everywhere. Actually, if you go to the Barrows and Borderlands website, under the portals section, like Portals of the Borderlands, there's an entire list of ever-growing game systems that we use in our campaign and that we have portals to, like Cal Aerith. And I try to reach out to the creators and say, hey, is it cool if I put you on my list of fun games? Jeffrey McKinney that did Carcosa, he was all into it. He thought it was cool.
Is he the one who did the digest size version?
Yes. Yeah.
I read that on the eye or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, I thought it was real, and then I missed it. I was like, oh my God, this is going to cost me a fortune to get. All those, additional digest books,
that
which is
made it look like it was with the original.
I fell
He's
for
so
it, hook,
good at
line,
it.
and sinker. I would pay good money for those because a lot of people I've talked to, actually kind of poo-poo or literally crap on the idea of the digest size games. Back when we were playing, um, portability was a huge thing. Being able to carry your book or a book in your coat pocket, or like the old meta games. You remember Car Wars and
Yeah.
Ogre and all those little games that came in the envelope. You could put in your back pocket, take it to school, and play it at the in the cafeteria with the fold out map and little counters and a single six-sided die. Having the digest books in that size, makes it a whole lot easier than what some of us had to do. Carry a backpack that weighed 45 pounds with your player's handbook, your DMG, your monster manual, etc. Just to be able to play. I had one friend. He's still my friend, but I haven't seen him in 10 years. Every time he'd come to my place to play, he had 2 milk cartons or milk crates full of the Palladium books. Okay, just to he would just bring those 2 crates with him to play. On the off chance he might have to pull one out, uh,
You
you
should
know,
see how I show up to the game store. It's pretty bad, but no, I
right?
mean, my first thing usually I do if we find a cool game and want to implement it is I reach out to the creator. I'm like, hey, look, I got it. Can I put on my website that there's a portal here? I'll link your site or whatever. And so that's what I've been trying to do because I mean that's how we play our game. Ultra American TTRPG that's in the chat. He runs, or I think he's planning on running stuff like White Star. What else did we run? A Cloud Empress. We're gamers. We like to game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Same here. If you guys saw the massive, hey nerds, what's happening? Long time no see. Not that
Hey,
long,
hey.
but welcome to the show. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games I'm never going to get to play. Even if I lived 100 years, I will never get to play them. Mostly because no one wants to play Demon Lord by Heritage Miniatures, or
That's a cool game.
I'll
you know
play.
what I'm talking about. It's a little mini war game, or Dragon Rage, or
Barbarian Kings
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barbarian Prince,
or Prince.
or
That's what it was, Prince.
some of these games are super expensive because there's only like 8 of them left, and I have 7, and nobody wants to play them because they don't know they exist, or they're don't have time for this. We're doing the other thing. That's why I got to open up a game shop. Yes, that one.
Look at
That
that.
one.
Yeah.
It's just
I
a little.
swear Heritage gave, and I think Heritage is Reaper, but I'm not sure anymore.
Well,
I
Reaper
thought
bought
they
a
did
lot of Heritage
Dwarf
stuff.
Dwarf
but
Star. Dwarf
Yeah.
Star.
I believe somebody gave somebody the right to put them online for
Yes, they
personal
are
use.
online, but you can't print them from their site. And the
Oh.
Dragon Rage, I think it was called, was the one game they would not put on the site for some reason. I think they were in the works of making a game. It was
Oh.
literally a war game where one player plays the dragon, the other player plays the village.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, our group
Who
before
doesn't want to do that?
we pull
right?
games out to play before our sessions too. Like I've got the original dungeon board game that we play,
Yes.
and then what was the Cosmic Encounters?
Snitch Revenge.
Yes, Snitch Revenge. We just did a game the other day. It's not a small game, but just another Portal we did the other day. Empire of the Petal Throne. We played some of that, and then we did. But I have the mini game for it, the Wizard War or War of Wizards.
Yeah, I've got
minigame.
that over here.
Yeah. So
War of the Sky Cities, I think it is. I've got hundreds and hundreds of games that the only way to get to play them is to open up a game shop. So that's what I got to do in the near future because there's just no way I'm gonna.
You've got to be a different colored. You've got to be another colored dragon because they've got their store up there is the red dragon. Mine's the green dragon. So you need some sort of colored dragon to go with it.
Gee, I wonder what color that would be.
Yeah, right.
My wardrobe is only one color.
Yeah.
It literally, since I was 14, it's been black.
The rose
Yeah.
gold dragon.
44 years of nothing but practice. Saved me a ton of money on hot water and bleach. If you know, you know. Wizard War, I have that one too. It's just
We
there's
And-
just
and-
not enough time to play all the great games.
See,
Thankfully, go ahead.
no,
Oh,
no,
my-
I was going to say this feeds into the Portal to Adventure game of games. If
Yeah,
you
my-
get into a Portal to Adventure, you just start bringing these games right in. Use
Yeah.
Demon Lord to
Play it.
play out a huge.
Oh my god, that would be such a great RPG.
That's what we do at our table. We at our table we use the board games to simulate stuff in the campaign.
Yes.
Like we actually use cosmic encounters to play the alien factions in the stars that are fighting each other, and if they win, then they'll get their empire will expand or whatever, and see how that influences our game world. If we do the dungeon board game, you can take your character into it, and you pick the character closest to you, and if you get out with the treasure, you can take it out with you. Yeah, we do that with all of our games. We use Jenga for nuclear bombs to defuse them.
I love that. Although honestly, I would have probably went with Operation.
Operation would be a fun one. That would be
Yeah.
the pieces would go missing for me, but and then we've got we do all kinds of stuff at the Green Dragon near us. That store's been open since '75, and he's all ecstatic about the Kickstarter too, because Arduin and Empire Pedal Throne were the two main games he played in the '70s. So
Well, there
whenever he
wasn't
heard about that, he got all excited.
there weren't as many choices as there are now.
Yeah, there weren't as many choices, but he played it for quite a long time. His son's helping run the store, Beowulf, and now he's a cool guy. He's been too nice a guy. He's given me a bunch of Dragon magazines in the past, and allowed me to take up so many tables because we have 20-person games. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, this all feeds into everything. And again, that's why we're so happy and ecstatic about this Kickstarter, Shadow. The Portal
Well,
to Adventure. Arduin.
Why don't we take a little look see and see how it's doing?
yeah,
Oh,
I don't know if I can get to it faster than you guys can. Yeah,
let's see, 90 backers so far, 17,000.
Well, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
90
Oh.
backers were over 17.
I saw Dungeon Delver shouted it out earlier today, and Diversity and Dragons shouted it out.
Mhm.
That was
Oh,
real
that's
nice
awesome.
of them.
That's
I
awesome.
was over there right before this show.
That's very nice of them.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Double D's a great guy. He might rub some people the wrong way, but he's doing what he thinks he needs to do, and God bless him for doing it, because a lot of the things he says and does need to be done, just not by me.
well, I know Dungeon Delver today was his announcement of his little Christmas giveaway stuff, and sent him over some boxes. So he's doing original D&D replicas for the wood grain box. So I sent him over a couple boxes so he could get that all handled and everything. And then he
It's nice.
yeah, he was talking about how you get in on the giveaway for it, but they're just free giveaways for, I think maybe you have to be a member or something, but he says it on his channel if y'all look at it later. But he's a very nice guy, man. He's helping me out with that little solo thing that we'll see how that turns out. But
That's awesome, though. I'm glad with the Kickstarter. That's terrific.
yeah, it's kind of funny because I like I was telling you all earlier, whenever I was on there, I was getting ready to hang out for a while, and then I was like, okay, well, it'll take a few days, and then it'll probably get funded like somewhere in the middle, and it was like less than an hour. I'm like, whoa, well, there it is. And my players have been super great about shouting it out as well.
That's awesome. Thank them for us if they don't.
Yeah,
they've been awesome about it. And Fox too. Fox has been sharing it on him, and Ultra have been sharing it all over the place on their channels and whatnot.
Oh, that's
No.
great.
They've been awesome. Everybody's been awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Well, I'm looking at your numbers here for the Kickstarter. 3/4 of the backers are at the 145 or 185 level.
That's
Wow.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah,
They want those gorilla cases.
And just for people who, might have a curiosity that are watching, it truly is a real steal that you're getting. I mean,
52% off retail.
Yep, 52%. You're getting a ton of material basically for wholesale. I mean, I don't know what more we can do. And everything else, even the add-ons, we're at about 20% discount across the board for the add-ons. And
Yeah, one of my players picked it up, and he's all excited to run it with his family's game. They do a once a year game session, and I said, your family's gonna hate you if you bring Arduin to the table and kill all their characters. But good luck.
yeah, have some fun there.
Yeah,
And-
right.
No, exactly.
Critical hit on grandma, and
And I do want to say
Wow.
again, I know we showed it earlier, but this thing, I don't know how much more we're gonna do of this. So it's really hard to say if it's gonna go beyond the Kickstarter, but this thing's cool. This thing's grown on me. That's why it's literally right to my left.
and they're
I literally need like a half a dozen or more of those.
they're
Go ahead.
is that right? You said they're UV resistant too, right?
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, that's why I need them
Yeah.
because UV. That's why comic book bags and boards are made the way they are.
Yeah.
The better ones are UV resistant, Mylar plastic, things like that. Because otherwise you got to store them in some cool, dark, dry place where no one ever gets to see them. And that's kind of pointless. You want people to see them so that someone says, "Hey, let's play it, break it out." Don't break that game out. Let's play it. I don't care if it's 60 years old and falling apart. Let's play it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why the specs were pretty cool when Dave found this and showed them to me, and I looked them up and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And it made a lot of sense. So it's just a kind of a neat thing. They are custom, just to let everybody know they're not just a standard. We had to get them specifically sized for the bundle.
Because the dang box is so big.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I keep showing it, but it I can't tell you how much.
Dave, you still got yours?
Yeah.
I do.
If you have yours
I took off the magnetic top, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a championship belt.
Yeah. It's like a wrestling belt.
I mean, it's
I almost want to take it out to the desert and see what it'll stop, if you know what I mean.
You want to do a real live test? That's awesome, Shadow. You should do a video of that.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's not going to stop anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still want to do it.
Yeah. Oh. And
I got some things that need, well, anyways, the UV characteristic of that, you'd be amazed that when it comes to like collectibles and things like that, because that's what you're doing. Is you're turning it into something that you want to stay around for a long time and to survive and to be around for a long time, because this is going to be a limited production, and once they're gone, they're gone. And look at if perfect example is the original white box, a pristine copy of it. When it came out, it was like $15, right? $10, okay. And now to get a pristine copy, still shrunk wrap, you're going to pay 6, 8, 10, 12 grand.
Yeah, it's pretty
50
crazy.
years for a bunch of paper. I'm honestly surprised that the counterfeit industry isn't bigger. But then they realize, well, they could just make up their own game and make an honest living. But when it comes to like the Arduin modules, I come across counterfeit copies of them all the time on eBay. All the time.
That's one thing we did with these to make sure that hopefully folks would be able to do that. Obviously, the box looks different because it's got the wood grain on it and it's the parchment style, but on the inside, they've got the Emperor's Choice logo and the current year copyright. So none of those should really be seen on there. Doing the best we can, because that was a big thing. That was one of the early things we talked about.
There's no new material added either, so it's just the straight up original old school.
Yeah, I didn't add any words to anything in the book whenever we were doing our cleanups of it. I think the only thing that ever got we put page numbers on like 2 or 3 of the pages that were missing them, so that you knew what page you're on.
Correct.
But yeah,
I think we'll be also amazed at the clarity that is going to be used for the AG1.
Oh yeah, one of my copies is awful. It's like, how did this make it out of QA?
Because I think they used to photocopy photocopies.
Yeah. So it
and eventually it just spiraled out of control.
The first
we
scans
had so many versions of AG1. I can't even tell you. Like, pages are done wrong and out of order, or
I don't know if you can see.
Oh, that's sharp.
Yeah.
And on some of the pages, I noticed that, like, if the words were a little bit smaller on a page, we could just a little bit bigger, fill it out more. And that way everything was sharp, clean, readable, and it's on the linen paper, so it should last a little bit longer. And the heavy cardstock. So, I mean, I wanted to get it when we were looking at paper, I was like, I want to get that cover as close as physically possible to the original cover, but hopefully last longer. But that's why they're so, I mean, these things are pretty sturdy. So they should last quite a bit. Yeah. That's the hope.
Yeah.
Maybe don't take them out to the desert, but
don't take them to the desert. But when you talk about that, Shadow, when you said about the old D&D boxes, even the Arduin trilogy boxes, where it's a cardboard box and 3 books, I think right now on eBay they're starting at $300, and they go up to about $700-800.
Yep.
So
because there's so few of them left, and the people who want them for a very specific purpose, and that's not to just put them on a shelf. Hopefully it's to read them and then use the information, because in a lot of cases you read something and you don't need to go read it again for a while unless you've got the short-term memory of like me, and you need to keep reading these things. And it's amazing that condition is everything, and the better the material it's made out of, the longer and the easier it can stay in that near mint or mint condition, like these will, by being made out of better materials. That's one of the reasons why comic books went from the crappiest paper on the planet to this glossy stuff that now costs 100 times the price to print, but it's going to last the casual once or twice reading it without knocking it down an entire grade, depending on who's looking at it and who's grading it and things like that. And
that again, it goes to the commitment everybody has with this Kickstarter, Shadow, that we want to give you the best material. So again, to let people know who are going to watch this and hear us, we're trying to give you the best. We've had numerous discussions about production. Matt has had numerous discussions with us about what are we doing with this? How is this forming? What we're doing on our end. Again, from the display case to the box itself for the bundle, and how we're going to pack it and how things are going to be presented. It's all important to us.
Down to the staples.
The staples. I can't believe how many discussions we've had about staples. But we want it. And when we made a decision, we always defaulted to the better. Like, we could go cheaper, or we could do this. It's like, no, let's do the linen paper like you have. No, let's do the better staples. Let's do the harder cardstock, even though it's very stiff as a cover. We don't care, because we know it'll last. Even the boxes and the labels, everything.
The boxes are all sturdy. These boxes are American made too. All of them are nice, sturdy, and it's not like it's going to chip or anything. It actually has some of the texture built into it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
very, very cool.
yeah.
So-
No, it's all quality that that we've poured into it. The maps we're giving you, the swords and dragons. You got the Lost Dungeon of Tonnesburg there,
There's this printed.
coming from Griff. So even the character sheets Matt showed earlier, they're all the hard card stock. Everything is going to be in this beautiful parchment with the ink nice. It's just the quality that you're.
I
gonna
used.
get.
There's writing on this because I used this one. So
Yeah,
I've got a couple of original ones myself from back in the day.
you act. Oh, I was gonna say real quick that Edgelord asked where this was printed. I print them all by hand over here for the box sets. So
yes.
every single one is either stapled by me or my buddy John, and everything's printed in my little shed.
Correct.
So
Feeling for you.
Yeah, and
yeah, right.
and to reiterate, I know Matt talked about this in his video that he did for the Kickstarter, but I think it's prudent here to reiterate it for everybody. All this material is already in production. We're already in production. I talked about, because you guys have been wonderful to hit all the stretch goals. Dave and I are going to be doing some casting in October here in Buffalo, which will be fun. But we're producing already. So this Kickstarter, we are not, let me say that numerous times, not going to make you wait 6 months, a year, or anything.
Oh yeah.
This Kickstarter, as soon as we have everything produced and packed, ready to go, we're shipping. We can't promise an exact date because we don't know all the final details of when we get the final pieces we need and produced. We're going to ship as soon as possible, as soon as everything's ready to go, as soon as we settle with Kickstarter. We want to get this stuff to you immediately, and that's something we pride ourselves on. We did it on the last Kickstarter, and this Kickstarter, 3 games by 3 companies, it's going to be the same thing. 3 games by 3 publishers. We're going to produce, get it done, and get it to in your hands.
Barring
the
six.
hold up we had on the last Kickstarter was we were waiting on Kickstarter to release the addresses.
Yeah. And
We were ready to go the day it closed.
Yeah.
barring 6,000 of you guys deciding this is really cool, and my poor little printer, me getting a new one real quick. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got 100 of the Arduin trilogy, all the 4 booklets, so both of the reprints already printed in there. So I'm just printing. I'm printing every day. So I think the only days between now and the end of October that I'm not printing are when I'm sitting at Arnicon running games with some of y'all. So
Yeah. So no, we're full bore, Shadow, with getting this produced and having everything. Again, we're already there, and we're adjusting based on the numbers we see. And again, we'll do whatever we have to get this done. And we're already looking at the logistics because we are shipping. If you look, we already have orders from Finland, from Germany, from the UK, Canada. We're all already worldwide with this. So, and we did this the last time, and we have no problem. We will get it to you. Doesn't matter where you are.
Which I noticed with another Kickstarter, certain places are just not. It's not going to happen. How are you managing to make that work?
What do you mean not happen?
Yeah.
Some places, some Kickstarters are only shipping to certain countries or areas.
Oh, well, if it goes over on cost, we eat it.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to get it to whoever we can. I think in the last Kickstarter,
If we have to make a deal with a place like Noble Knight, we'll beg, borrow, steal to make it happen too.
Yeah. We'll
we
adjust.
were all set to do that on the last one, and we were able to not. So
yeah.
I'll rent a kayak and get it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's young. He can do that.
We adjust to situations. The last Kickstarter, we had one overseas order in Dubai, in the Middle East, and it got lost. he was dealing with everything, and we were able to get a U.S. address, and we reshipped him a brand new reward for free and got it to him. And the customer
Nice.
was extreme.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one in the UK, right?
No, it was Dubai. Remember, they had that problem.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
Gary-
was the one thing. Go
Gary
ahead,
from the
Matt.
Second Watch stream that we were on, was that last week, I guess? But him and I are playing address tag right now because every time I send a box set, it comes back to me, and so I'm gonna have to just drive over and hand deliver his.
Dave, you want to handle this one? This comment?
Oh,
Yeah, once we don't produce them anymore, you're right, Baron. I think that's what he's saying. They'll sell the box
Oh, yeah.
for $100. Yeah.
Oh, I know they will, if not more.
Yeah. And we really do mean that it is a limited, edition for everything. We're not going to continuously do this. Once we reach a certain amount or how many, that's it. We're not going to continue producing them. So it is truly a limited edition. Again, with the case, we're
Now Matt's going to obviously continue producing Barrows and Borderlands.
yeah, Barrows.
Oh,
and Borderlands,
yeah. We're still going to produce.
the Portal to Adventure and the special art and all that.
The big
like
box
with
set.
like me having Michio art on the front of the Psychic Sorcerers, that won't last, and the Arduin reprints won't keep going.
So it truly
and Tonisborg will still be selling.
Yeah, Tonisborg still. So yeah, but it's still, this is a cool set, a cool bundle that you get that really is neat. And like I said, people support us.
Some cool.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Tonisborg's packed as well.
Yeah, that's another. What is it? 156 pages, I think, Matt.
I mean, not count.
You have it right on the Kickstarter too.
Not counting the index, 152. So
152. Okay.
Yep. And then he's got some lore write-ups on the back of it too.
Cool.
Not just the backsplash.
Absolutely.
So, lots of fun stuff.
Absolutely. So no, again, we really appreciate everybody. If you haven't, check it out, see what you think. Everything's there. And again, if you have any questions or concerns or anything, the email admin@mcho.com, and you can get it right through the Kickstarter. Let us know. We're willing, if you're having any issues, especially with shipping or something like that, let us know. We'll take care of you, and we'll try to see what we can do for you.
They're gonna put me on the road, I guess. But
Yeah. We're gonna get Matt. We're gonna get him a little truck.
we need, instead of the hot dog bus, I need like a what should I have?
The scimitar.
Yeah, or wait, the what's the slug creature with the human face on it? Get one of those as a bus.
Sluggets. Yeah.
Sluggets. Yeah, I'll get a Sluggeth bus and drive around the country.
Yeah, there you go. So, but
Welcome to the show, Chad. Right as we're getting ready to wrap up, is there anything else you guys want to tell everybody before we say goodnight?
Game on and perish.
yeah. And remember, we were there.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
come
I'm
join
really
me in
looking
the
forward to this,
Discord and
guys.
come play.
I really am. Even though I have the PDFs, thanks again, Matt. I'm digging what I'm reading, and this last year when it came to games, there were only a few things that really made me stand up and take notice. I'm not going to mention anything here, but this is definitely probably one of the biggest ones of the whole last year. And next year, I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a big one next year, considering everybody's going to be getting it, at a certain time. I don't want to misspeak, but I think there's going to be a lot of people playing this next year because, let's face it, the new stuff that's come out lately, for the most part, with very, very, very few exceptions, you can't hold a candle to this.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm
Really
just-
appreciate that.
Just being honest and just one guy's opinion. Just because I've been around since the dawn of dinosaurs, doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two about this crazy hobby that we all share together.
Awesome.
I can't say the same. Remember, the art's older than me.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. When the apocalypse comes, you'll be able to say, back in the before times, we did things like this.
Back in my day, those old guys, George and Dave and Shadow, and just kidding.
Oh, that's awesome. No, we appreciate it, Shadow. Thank you.
My
This is
pleasure.
great.
Always. You
We
guys are always welcome. I expect to see more of you, Matt and George and Dave. Of course, you guys all
Oh,
have my
yeah.
phone number. You know how to get a
Thank
hold of me. I'll get you mine as well, Matt, in case you want to,
Let me
chat.
slip another tidbit in there too, by the way,
Oh, okay.
because is that most people are aware that buy from us that our sculptor William Watt died. Well, we got a new sculptor. His name is Mariano, and wow, I'm telling you, wow, it's coming. He's sculpting some really good stuff, and it's coming. It's like a little storm brewing.
I haven't mentioned that, but miniature wise, we've got miniatures on deck. Our line is going to start increasing with some
He's a real talent. I'm telling you.
Yep,
Really?
we got
Yeah,
some
and,
really cool miniatures. Yeah,
His he's got a mold maker too, which allows us to get this stuff into production even faster. So
Yeah.
I don't take the time to make the molds or
Are there any new minis
Well,
coming out
Park,
anytime
if
soon
we
besides
can-
the ones where? Oh,
what's that?
has anything new been added in the mini lines in the last couple of
So
months?
the catalog here that we're going to hopefully have enough to put into every Kickstarter has the current miniature line that we haven't excluded yet. We have some that are out of stock permanently that aren't in there, and there's about 3 or 4 in there I think we're going to take out of print just because they're duplicates and we've revamped them.
Well, you can't
we're gonna-
you can't take the black dragon out until I get one.
No. So what's going to happen is we're going to rename or restock number a few numbers, and the dragon will be one of those. And they're going to go into the box sets very similar to the old Legends Eternal series of
Nice.
the 8 box sets. And what happened is we've changed the side cover once now, and I think we're solidified. So the first 8 boxes will have 5 or 6 pieces that are already released and a couple of brand new ones. And then that'll box that out. And then we're going to go on to another series of 8 of all brand new stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting. These sculpts are a lot different than William Watt. So
yeah.
We loved William Watt, and he stuck with us for as long as we existed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he passed, and we had to move on. And we're fortunate that Mariano could either continue with Bill's style, or we could unleash him and have him do his style. And we just said we're just gonna transition to a newer style. So it's pretty exciting.
I'm sorry to hear about William.
Thanks.
But-
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see though that he got to see his magnum opus, and
Yeah, I could tell you this: the map behind George, he personally told me in person at his house that is his biggest pride of piece of art that he's ever done. So
yeah. So that's
he
gonna
sculpted all the big the majority of the dragons for Grenadier and a lot more.
Yeah.
I have most of them.
So
but
All right, guys, I'm going to call it for the night. Let you guys all get back to grinding out more Arduin and Borderlands greatness. I hope you guys have a great evening. You guys all
Thank
know where to get a hold of me on Discord or wherever. Thanks for being on the show. We didn't quite get to the thing, but 21 more of those, subscribers will hit the 1,000, and I'll have you guys
Yeah.
to thank.
All my people that are in the chat, go subscribe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
close
Anybody
to
in the
1,000.
chat, please go subscribe to Shadow and Sun.
Yes.
Absolutely. Please support.
Once we do hit that by a certain amount, so that no shenanigans happen and we lose it, we are going to be having a really big giveaway, including a bunch of Arduin stuff, including a bunch of other stuff. I will probably give away my copy of Borg, knowing that I'm getting 2 more in the mail, and but needless to say, we will be giving away about $1,000 of things that have been gifted to us one way or another throughout the last couple of years that we've been saving up and stocking up for said giveaway. So stay tuned, folks. Everybody else out there in TV land, have a great evening, a great weekend. We love you, and I will see you all in the funny papers.
Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Good night.
Thank you very much, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.